What's up, y'all? Thank you for joining me for another episode of Soul Food Sundays. If it's your first time joining me, my name is Keita. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Last time I recorded an episode of Soul Food Sundays, we talked about the tendencies that we need to leave behind, according to the North Node being in Pisces, and the information provided by Jan Spiller in the book Astrology for the Soul. If you have not read this book, it's highly recommended. I've been using it for a few years now, just to better align with my North Node in Gemini, and two, it also gives me a better understanding of other people in my life as well if I know their North Node placement. I also use bibliomancy with the book to find different answers that I am seeking. So may want to check out that book. We will be using it for Soul Food Sundays, considering that the North Node is currently in Pisces, South Node currently in Virgo, and will be there until like summer 2026, if I'm not mistaken. So it's definitely information that we're needing to take heed to. We also talked about traits that we need to adopt. So we talked about what we need to take on, and what energy is supported during this time that the North Node is in Pisces, and we talked about the energy or the tendencies that we need to leave behind while we are in this North Node in Pisces energy. Today, though, we're going to be talking about the Achilles heel of people who are heavily influenced by the North Node in Pisces. So, regardless of what your North Node is in, we're all affected by this energy because that's where the lunar node is placed currently. But the book is written according to having that particular placement in your chart. So take the information how it resonates. We're gonna close out with card reading using the Angels of Wisdom tarot deck. So yeah, the Achilles heel. For those of you who aren't familiar with what an Achilles heel is, it's that habit that potentially will contribute to failure. That thing that trips you up. If you're looking to diet, but you are addicted to ice cream would be your Achilles heel. If you want to make friendships, build friendships, but you are addicted to gossip, that would be your Achilles heel, your downfall, the thing that sets you up for failure ultimately. And so we're going to tap into this information to see how it applies to us during this North Node in Pisces placement energy. It says here that the Achilles heel Pisces North Node people need to be aware of is their compulsive need for order. So again, not only is this referring to people whose North Node is in Pisces, but this is for all of us. We need to be mindful of any compulsive need for order and perfection. It has in parentheses here, my survival depends on everything being in order according to my view of how life ought to be and how others ought to behave. Get rid of that shit. That's a tendency that you need to leave behind. Thinking that everything needs to go the way that you have it pictured, the way that you think it should, and people should behave the way you think they should. Acceptance is a game changer. That is something that in my and as this plane goes by, that's just reminding me that acceptance is not only a game changer, but it's once you accept things, you can go higher, you can elevate in your consciousness, in your thinking, in your way of living and being and operating, because you're no longer weighed down by your expectations of others, your disappointments. Just flow, just be in the flow. So that was divinely orchestrated, the way the plane came through to remind me of the way acceptance is elevating. It's definitely been a game changer for me in my 41 years. Instead of resisting things that are being presented to me, accepting them for what they are, like being honest with myself about what's being presented to me, whether it's somebody else's behavior or my own, whether it's a current event or something that's going on, a habit or whatever. Like, I just have to be honest with myself and accept things for what they are, opposed to resisting it, fighting it, wearing rose-colored glasses, and trying to paint a picture to be something that it simply ain't. You would be amazed if you really took a look and were honest with yourself about yourself and the people around you, how often we putting them rose-colored glasses on. So we need to be mindful of that. And the South Node being in Virgo, we definitely needed to be mindful of the concept of perfection and perfectionism and how that plays out in our life. The South Node being something we need to leave in the past, the skin that we need to shed. And we are in the year of the snake. We are in so there's definitely an energy of shedding skin, shedding identity, shedding ways of being, ways of showing up. But also we're in a universal year 9, which is about closing out cycles, and that is taking place personally. Again, that's gonna be your key to elevation. uh, that's taking place for us personally as well as collectively. So look at the current events and things that are taking place on the news and across the globe, because a lot of it is divinely orchestrated to help us rid ourselves of perfectionism, um, and the things that keep us anchored in low vibrations that are going to help us to elevate and rise, right? Raise our frequency and create ultimately new earth. So it says here, and it can lead them into the trap of an unending search for perfection. If only the people around me were more perfect, I could relax and trust. But it's a bottomless pit. Since life and other people are never in a static state of perfect order long enough for Pisces North nodes to feel secure, their expectations can lead to continual tension and anxiety. Because life and others are never ideal enough for them to let go of control, they continually postpone trust and joy. When you accept things for what they are, you accept people for who they are, and you maintain your control by controlling yourself, by abiding by the serenity prayer, where let me pull that up because I'm feeling the need to quote that verbatim. Yeah, when you live your life according to the serenity prayer, you ask God to grant you the serenity to accept the things that you cannot change, and change the things that you can, and to have the wisdom to know the difference, have the discernment to know the difference, to pull from different experiences that you've had, that you've gone through, in order to make better decisions as you move forward, opposed to being so rigid in your thinking and rigid in your approach that you are hell-bent on trying to change people. For one, you can't change nobody, and especially those who don't want to be changed. You can't contribute to their changing. You just gotta focus on yourself. You gotta focus on yourself, let your light shine, and not be so focused on who benefits from your light. Just let it shine, and then the light gonna do what it do. The light don't need you to micromanage it. You know what I'm saying? And so you want to be mindful of that as well. Live in serenity and peace and tranquility. That increases your capacity to experience and embody joy, because otherwise you're living in expectancy and expecting things from other people and demanding that they show up and operate in a certain way, and it builds tension and anxiety, which lowers your vibration. And that is your Achilles heel for many of us. So it says the bottom line involves accepting that the universe's plan is better than theirs, and that things are unfolding properly, regardless of how it seems. The only place they can create perfect order is within themselves by surrendering to a higher power and trusting that everything is indeed in order. You know, people love to say how much they love God. It's God over everything. God is the head and the tail of my life, and Jesus this and Jesus that, and Jesus is God. And but then live a life that screams, I don't trust God. I don't trust that things are working out for my highest good. I don't believe in divine order, divine time, and divine union, divine call. I don't believe in divinity. But hollering about God and Jesus makes you feel like you're part of the in crowd. I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about them. You know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all don't do that, right? But there are so many people who it's cute, it's cool to profess your love for God, to profess your love for Jesus or whomever, whatever you believe in, but not trusting in it, not believing in it, not abiding by it, not embodying it, and that it's time out for that. We can no longer do that comfortably in this time that we are living in, and for some of us, not walking our talk is our Achilles heel. Um, so you definitely want to cultivate that trust in the divine, that trust in God, that you are a carbon copy of the divine, and that all things are working out in your for your good and are preordained or predestined on your behalf, and that you have the power of God within you, that you are God, that you are a cosmic being and not just a human being. So it says here, the irony is that when Pisces North Node people blindly trust the infinite and accept that everything contributes to their greater happiness, they suddenly become aware of the larger picture and begin to sense how things are working to their advantage. Then they can let go of control and be happy. That is the thing that is standing between a lot of people and their joy, not being able to look at the bigger picture, not being able to see that a lot of the small, minute things that they make such a big deal of are just a pebble in the pond, are just a raindrop in the ocean. Like it's just a small part of the bigger picture. So we're needing to broaden our horizons. We're needing to expand our view and our consciousness. We're needing to elevate our frequency, and we're needing to do that in this time by paying attention to how perfectionism shows up in our life, and also doing things that help us to release control. So try something new. Push yourself to the next level. If you're one of those people, you got trust issues, you don't trust people with talking to them or doing things for you, like loosen your grip a little bit and ask the divine to show you and lead and guide you in trusting more, trusting that things are working out on your behalf, and taking more leaps of faith. Challenge yourself to do new things, to try new things, to open up in new ways. And what you will find, and I know this from experience, is that you ain't really been living. It ain't until you make yourself more vulnerable, more open, more trusting, that you're really living your life. Until then, you're just walking around with this heavy armor on, suffocating, dying slowly. And that is not the life that the divine has called us forth, or that we signed up for. And so it's time out, y'all. It's time to do a new thing, to follow our North Star, to leave some things behind, to shed some skin. And that is exactly what the occurrences in our lives, personally as well as collectively, are leading us to. We're no longer seeking perfectionism in others. We are accepting that people have flaws. And accepting it does not mean that you allow them to stay within your proximity. Acceptance even further reinforces strong boundaries. So please don't take what I'm saying as, by accepting that people are flawed, that you also allow them to fuck over you, that you allow them to spew their low vibrational energy all over you, because that's not what I'm saying. at all. Acceptance means you don't try to create a narrative that says it's not what it clearly is. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that you don't try to change the other person. You just do the work to do what's best for yourself. It's absolutely nothing wrong with putting yourself first. So I pray that you all develop a better relationship with your Ori, which in Yoruba religion is the name for your higher self. That aspect, that version of yourself that is aligned with your calling, your purpose, your whole point of being here, your highest good. I pray that you all do the necessary to develop that relationship, and tending to your Achilles heel, your trap to avoid, or getting to the bottom line of what is contributing to quote unquote failure in your life will definitely help you to embody your higher self more, hear your higher self more, hear the voice of and see the visions of your higher self more. So I'm going to do a reading to close us out using the Angel of Wisdom tarot. Before I do, if you like the video, go ahead and push that like button. If you're interested in a personal reading, feel free to email me or inbox me through my various social media platforms, or you can book using my Etsy store. That link is on my link tree. And stay tuned for the next Soul Food Sundays reading, where we will be talking about these people who are caught up in perfectionism. And if that's you, I'm talking to you. If that's your Achilles heel, what do these people really want? What is it that they're really seeking? We'll be talking about that in the next episode of Soul Food Sundays. But before we go, I want to get a message from the divine to close us out relative to this collective energy. Yeah. I've already given tons of advice as it relates to this Pisces North Node energy and the traps that keep us bound and limited. But what is the closing message? So looks like we got 3 cards that fell out, all face down, and we have the 4 of Swords, the 2 of Swords, and the King of Swords. So this is heavily relative to your thoughts, the way you communicate, as Sword energy represents air energy. And with the 4 of Swords and the 2 of Swords, that gives you 6 swords. The King of Swords would give you 7. Where might you be deceiving yourself? And that deception could very well be that perfectionism that you seek in yourself and others. With the 4 of Swords, this is needing to take time out to go within, to be at peace and cultivate inner peace, to spend more time meditating, napping, resting, and not doing the most, going within. Coupled with the 2 of Swords would give you the 6 of Swords, which is like transitioning, moving from a state of denial and chaos and tomfoolery and fuckery and wearing a blindfold, those rose-colored glasses, and moving toward calmer waters, acceptance, moving towards making a definitive decision. The King of Swords cuts through the bullshit. The King of Swords is like, yeah, no, I'm good. You lying. Find somebody else to play with. I'm not interested. You see how uninterested he looks? That's somebody with a made up mind and they not playing. Don't come over here with that shit. Because I got this sword right here, and all he got to do is reach around and grab it, cut through the bullshit, go back where you came from. Come correct or don't come at all. So this is that energy, collectively equaling the Seven of Swords, which is that energy of deception. And also, what a lot of people don't talk about or share in terms of the Seven of Swords. Sometimes that Seven of Swords energy is about doing what's best for you at all costs. It might piss some other people off. It may require cutting some people off. It may require making some decisions that other people don't approve of. But this journey is not for you to please other people. This journey is not designed for you to look perfect in other people's eyes. Sometimes you're going to have to do what other people would consider is a mistake. All along, you know that it's divinely led. All along, you know that it's what's right and what's best for you. So go with where you're being intuitively and divinely led. Follow your passions. Speak your truth and do what's best for you. And if that requires cutting some things and some people off, so the fuck be it. They ain't got a heaven or a hell to put you in. At the top of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. This is a provider, a protector, somebody who's financially stable and generous. So this is that energy, going from that energy to the Seven of Wands, protecting your energy. For some of you, you've been extremely giving. You've been providing, you've been gift giving, you've been very generous with your time and your physical resources. But this North Node and Pisces energy is calling you to protect your energy, to elevate. Because with the Seven of Wands, this woman is standing on a hill, but she's got opposing energies coming at her from all directions. So know that in your elevation, there will be opposing energies that come to knock you off your square. They want you off your pedestal, off your high horse, so to speak. But you have got to protect your energy and stay centered and firm, and don't allow it to move you. Stay anchored in your beliefs. Stay anchored in your self-love, and follow the directives and directions of your Ori. Know that you are protected and that you are on the right path. Continue to stay focused on following your North Star. So I hope the message found y'all well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leads you well. One thing I'm noticing about this reading is that there are no major arcana cards that came out. So these are things that you're needing to do on a day-to-day basis, as all of the cards that came out were either a court card or a minor arcana. And the two court cards that came out were king energies, the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So this is very much tapping into your masculine energy, tapping into that divine masculine capacity to protect yourself. And that is regardless of your gender, whether you are female or male, because we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So yeah, y'all, like the video. If something was said that resonated with you, share with your people, should you want to share a divine message with them. And until next time, y'all, peace.